Thank you so much for joining us, ladies. I am Emma John. I am a breast cancer survivor, a personal stylist, and also a Look Good, Feel Better facilitator. So I'm really honoured to be kind of co-hosting or chairing this wonderful, wonderful talk that Trudi's about to give us on bras, prosthesis, and funding services for women during and after breast cancer. And I know Trudi's got so much insightful knowledge to share with us. I'm really delighted to introduce you to Trudi from ABC Breast Cancer Care. I was really lucky enough to meet Trudi myself last year, and she fitted me for my bras, and she also informed me about the subsidy, which I was not aware of at the time. So I felt very fortunate to be under Trudi's care. Trudi shared with a little bit about me, which I have been given permission to share with you. She lost her mum, age 56, to breast cancer, and then she herself has had breast cancer twice, 5 years apart. The first time in 2016, and then again 5 years later in 2021. She had a right mastectomy with a reconstruction, and then a tram reconstruction, and then 5 years later she had another mastectomy on her left breast, which she had reconstructed as an implant. Plus, as many of us can attest to, she's endured numerous other surgeries. She's since discovered that she has the CHEK2 cancer gene, and she understands that her mother would have had this too. This is a new gene that has been discovered, and it actually affects breast and numerous other cancers throughout the body. Trudi didn't know about the Ministry of Health subsidy until her second operation, and decided that she wanted to spread the news and the word to all BC ladies about the subsidy and make sure that they could access it. So after that, she was really inspired to start her own business supplying bras to breast cancer patients, and she found us a supplier to bring in her beautiful range. Her mission is to make it as easy as possible for all women who have been through breast cancer to access comfortable bras and prosthesis. I'm quite proud of myself. I got that word. Trudi has been in business 3 years. She's fitted hundreds of women, and she also has a wholesale side of her business too. And she will share about where she supplies those into. I really love that she only supplies lingerie shops that will provide the absolute most compassionate service to breast cancer ladies, because if you're anything like me, I felt incredibly vulnerable walking into another store that weren't equipped to deal with someone that had had a mastectomy and had very changed breast size. So I really found my time with Trudi so wonderful, warm, and two, I think when we meet other breast cancer survivors and thrivers, that it's a really comforting experience. So Trudi tells me that she absolutely adores what she does, and she loves meeting all of her clients, and I know that she'll be a really invaluable resource to us tonight in what she's sharing. So over to you, Trudi.
Thank you very much for having me. Hi, everybody. I'm Trudi, as Emma's just done a wonderful introduction, and I was going to talk a bit about myself, but I don't really need to now because Emma's let you know everything pretty well. So, yeah, I thought I would just sort of start with what it is I do. I do a lot of fittings for ladies, and I meet with them personally and do fittings. I also, as Emma said, I supply different stores as that are very compassionate with the breast cancer ladies. I won't supply anyone that doesn't look after my ladies or our ladies. And as she said, I really want to make everything as easy as possible for breast cancer survivors. As you know, I've been through it, and I didn't know anything about the subsidy. So I've made it my mission to inform as many people as possible about the subsidy. And, it's amazing. Even medical staff aren't even fully aware of who can and who can't, and the ins and outs of the subsidy themselves. So I'm educating medical professionals as well. So, you know, quite often they'll send a certificate through and the person's actually entitled to double the subsidy, and they're unaware of that. So I have to go back to them and say, do you know that this person's actually entitled to double? And yeah, so that's kind of where we are. So I supply like the likes of Smith & Coe's in Auckland. I supply people in Christchurch, Ballantyne's in Christchurch. I supply Little Boutique in Nelson. I supply a wide range of people, and they're all wonderful, wonderful people, and I can vouch for every one of them. They're just really kind, lovely ladies, the sort of ladies that we want to have as part of our team, you know. So I thought I might just start a little bit with about the breast forms, the prosthesis, and Emma did really well with the second go at that one. So yeah, I just thought I'd let you know what's available, and just, explain a few things to you, really. So I'll start now. So we have normal silicone breast forms. So these breast forms here, as you can see here, have ridges in them. These ridges actually massage the chest wall and actually help a little bit with the lymphatics, and are very comfortable to wear. They let the air flow through as well, so they're a little bit cooler. And lovely soft silicone, they feel just like a breast. So when you hug someone, you wouldn't be able to know the difference. So these are a beautiful breast form. And, I'm not the only one that supplies these. There's other people that do it too. So this isn't a big sales pitch. It's just an explain on how these work. There's like partial forms as well for ladies that have had lumpectomies and partial mastectomies. These are really interesting. Like, I don't know if you can see, but this has got a very fine edge, that part. This one is quite a lot fatter. So this can be worn any way you want to wear it on the breast. So if there's, you've had a lumpectomy up here, you can move it around so that it will fill in any gaps. It's a wonderful little thing. And I was wearing one of these myself for quite some time until my last surgery in August. So really, really good little form. Another one too, sometimes ladies are a little bit uneven. One breast is slightly bigger than the other, and so you want to even yourself up. This is a fine form. I'm not sure if you can see, but it's very thin. It's just a thin silicone form, so that could go over a breast that's just slightly bigger, or slightly smaller than the other breast, and it's great. So that's a really good little form. Now we have a swim form. Now this is a little thing, and for want of a better word, it's like a little bean bag, and it has little micro beads in here. So, and this little tag at the top can have a little, you could sew it into your swimwear or activewear if you like, if you didn't want to have it moving around. This is a really great for, going to the gym, swimming, and it dries really quickly. It's got a little bit of weight in it, so that it's not going to sort of move around too much. So some ladies prefer these to the silicone breasts, the silicone forms. They, some people find the silicone forms too heavy, but the reality of a silicone breast form like this first one that I showed you, which is, like a breast, it basically weighs the same as a normal, your other breast would if you had a single mastectomy. It's basically the same breast weight. So it gives you balance when you're, so you're not so lopsided, and it will balance everything up. But a lot of people do find it a bit heavy to wear, but they do get used to it. So, but yeah, as I say, it just gives you a bit more balance. So these are a great little number for your togs or whatever. And this one here is a little post surgical form. It's a little spongy number, can be used for swimming as well. And you can wear this straight after surgery. This just, sometimes the hospital sends you home with a little beanbag or a knitted sock thing or whatever. This is an alternative to that. And it's just lovely and soft, and just gives you a little bit more form. So those are kind of the breast forms that I have here in New Zealand, and most other people will have similar forms to that as well. So where you are in the country, I'm sure whoever supplies them close to you will have those as well. The bras, all my bras are, and all the the bras that I bring in and the other people do for mastectomy wear, all have pockets in them. So here I've got, hold it up, put the right way. It's a nice little bra. This is a little massage bra. Now it's really hard to see, but it's got little dimples in it. The little dimples help massage your lymphatics and can, help with that sort of thing. It's a beautiful, soft, comfortable bra. And a lot of people actually use them as sports bras, really super duper soft. And just because you've had breast cancer doesn't mean you have to be not sexy anymore. There's little numbers like this one too, which are all beautiful, and you know, lovely soft lacy numbers. There's lots of pretty little bras as well, so you don't have to feel fuddy-duddy or anything else. So I mean, I can supply you with a fuddy-duddy too, but it's you know, we have pretty much everything for everybody. And with the subsidy covers breast forms, well, prosthesis, it's easy to say breast forms, Emma, prosthesis, bras, camisoles, and swimwear. So you can have any of those things, and they're covered by the Ministry of Health subsidy. Now, I'll just give you a little bit of a, I've just written this on my other computer, a little bit of a, you know, who can claim the subsidy. So there isn't a limit, as I mentioned at first, on a time limit for your subsidy claim. So as I said, if you had a breast cancer surgery 5 years ago and you had a mastectomy or whatever, if you provide an up-to-date medical certificate from your doctor, you can claim the Ministry of Health subsidy. And I have been told that is, you know, I have had all this confirmed by the Ministry of Health themselves. So these, you know, this is how it works. Women that have had a breast reduction or for any medical issue, so of, you know, like if you've got the BRCA gene and you need to have a you know, full mastectomy as a preventative, if you've had breast surgery because your breasts are large and, you know, they're hurting you and you need it for a medical reason, you are entitled to the subsidy. So, you know, it doesn't have to be breast cancer as such. So, and in saying that too, so if you've had say, for example, a right mastectomy and a reconstruction, and then they've made your other breast symmetrical, and that is considered a bilateral surgery. Now, that's where a lot of the nurses get a bit confused on that. So basically, if you've had surgery on both breasts, you are entitled to the subsidy for 2 breasts. So that's about $1,226.33. So as opposed to $613.33. I am told that sometimes the Ministry of Health will ask a bit more questions, but I've never, it's, you know, on a case-by-case basis when they call it a bilateral, but I haven't had any issues with people. So I've gone back to different nurses and doctors and said, well, look, you've made her breast, the other side, symmetrical. It's therefore considered a bilateral, and I haven't had any issues with claiming. The other thing, any following surgery, so any subsequent surgeries you have, you're entitled to the breast subsidy again. So if you, quite often ladies have to have like fat grafting or whatever 6 months after the initial operation, you're entitled to the subsidy again. And so you just have to ask, you know, your breast nurse or your surgeon, whoever. The other thing too, which surprised me a little, it's if you've had your surgery overseas and you are a New Zealand resident, you are entitled to the New Zealand subsidy as well. So you just have to have an NHI number. I've had people, you know, from England, China, wherever, come to me, and I've been supplying them with bras as well. So I didn't realize that at all. So I just had, it was only a recent thing that I've found that out. If a woman has had a reconstruction and from a full mastectomy, she's only entitled to the subsidy once. So unless, as I said, if she has another operation down the track. If she's had a mastectomy and she remains flat, she's entitled to the subsidy every 4 years. So, and going for bilateral as well, she's entitled to that every 4 years. So that's kind of where we're at with the funding and things. Has anyone got any questions or anything that I'd like to ask about that? No? Okay, that's fine. I'll carry on. We have, I've been given a few questions. So if you don't mind, I will just have a quick read of here. Someone has asked who to contact regarding their funding. They haven't accessed their funding since 2021, and they don't know whether they're still entitled to it or they want to know how much they have left. So you phone the Ministry of Health. I have a phone number here for the person that asked the question. I'm not sure who you are, but the phone number is 0800 855 066. Press option 3 and then 5. And those ladies there, you'll have to give your date of birth and your name, and they will let you know if you're entitled to the subsidy. If you have any problems, just get hold of me and I can do that for you. Sorry, Emma.
Can you just repeat that number and I'll put it in the chat?
Oh, okay. 0800 855 066.
Lovely. Thank you.
And it's option 3 and then 5. Otherwise, you'll go all around the show.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And if anyone has any trouble, I don't mind asking or doing it for you. It's no problem at all. So they will let you know, if you're still entitled or you're not entitled, whatever, and they'll give you a subsidy balance. Another question we've had, someone's asked about an inflatable prosthesis. I haven't heard of them myself, but I have done some Googling and asked a colleague in Australia. Apparently Anita brand do those, and they're called Adapt Air breast form. So if the person who is after those inflatable breast forms, Anita products do those. So they do have a person in New Zealand, and I think the fitting room in New Zealand have the Anita range now. Someone's had right, sorry. I've had a DMX, now flat. My breast cancer side is still very sensitive after almost 4 years. I find silicone prosthesis too heavy, even in an A cup. What are the alternatives? Trial and error can be costly. There are a few alternatives, like I explained at the start. Like you could just wear the little swim prosthesis with the little beans in. It's really light, but not as light as this other breast form. So, I mean, you could wear these. The only thing is, it's like I mentioned before, the balance and the weight of them. So sometimes you find if you're wearing something too light, that it will ride up. So you need some weight to hold everything down. Those, I mean, they're certainly, you could try these, and if you wanted to try them, they are cost effective, nowhere near the price of a silicone prosthesis. But like I say, I think, if you were going to do it, you might have to sew it in or something to hold it down. So that's that one. Someone here says, I purchased my first prosthetic and it feels heavy. It has a special bra, but I always get swelling when I wear it. Now, the swelling, I wasn't sure about that either. So I have asked a colleague. Some women need to break a prosthesis in, depending how long they've been without anything. So if they've remained flat for quite a while, your shoulder needs to get used to the weight of a prosthesis again. So you need to break in your prosthesis. So wear it for 2 or 3 hours a day, and slowly break it in. And you can also add an extender to your bra to loosen the back a little bit, just to loosen everything up so it's not so tight on you. Other than that, I would probably discuss it with your breast nurse if you're still having issues. So as Emma mentioned, we're not medical people, but those are an option you could try. Okay, the best prosthesis to put on your swimsuit. Someone has asked why we don't have in New Zealand We Wear Boost, which is designed in the UK. I hadn't heard of these. I've had a little look at them. They're quite different to anything that we have here. Very liney, and lots of there's stars and all sorts of lines and things on them, and they look relatively hard. So I'm not sure how they would be in your swimsuit, whether they would show through. So I don't know, but failing that, this little one here, the little beanbag one, or the little foam one are perfect for swimsuits. So you can actually sew these in. You get a little pocket and sew it in, so it doesn't go disappearing anywhere or anything. And this one, same deal. And those are sort of the questions that have been given so far. So
we've got a few more.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm done here with all my bits. So so let's go.
Okay. One of the last questions was, can you share more about inflatable prosthesis? But I think you've already covered that.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's an Anita brand. Have a Google. I don't know anything about them. I'm sorry. So yeah, if you Google, you'll probably be able to see them.
Okay. And somebody asks, what might $613 cover? Does it buy a prosthesis and one bra, or what's the kind of scale? Pretty well.
The prosthesis are around $400 to $500, and the bras are sort of around about $100, $130, $140 from there. So you will get one and one. That's how you do it. When I do fitting, I ensure that ladies Sorry, Em.
Sorry, and that prosthesis, so can you hold up one of them that...
Okay, so this one, here we go. This one here,
Yeah.
that's around $500. Okay, and that's the same in all the stores. So, so that
what's its lifeline?
It's, well, quite a while if you look after them. So they have a 2-year warranty, but they will last a lot longer. So, I mean, you've got to look after them. They have a little hammock that they sleep in at night, in a little hat box. You know, look after them and they'll be your friend for a while, you know, quite some time. So usually your first go, if you're needing a prosthesis, usually the first one is covering sort of the prosthesis and a bra. And then after that, you're basically on bras for a while. So you'll be able to top up from there. Yeah.
And so if you were just getting bras, if you've had reconstruction, how many bras could you get?
Oh, you're probably looking at about 4 or 5 bras, and all camisoles, and you know, your swimwear is sort of around the same sort of price as well. So yeah, you can get a decent amount. So yeah, 4 or 5 bras would probably cover most of them. So yeah.
And asks, what city are you in, Trudi?
I'm in Auckland.
Yes.
Where are you?
She's awesome. And the last question that we have is from I've had a mastectomy on the right breast and chose to have a second mastectomy on the left side, although did not have, could I claim both breasts?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Because you've had surgery on both breasts, it's considered a bilateral surgery. Yes.
Awesome.
So just because you've chosen, sorry, Emma, just because you've chosen to have that off and it didn't have cancer, it doesn't matter. It's a surgery. So, you know, and that goes for being made symmetrical as well. So if, you know, you've had, you know, a right mastectomy with an implant or however, tram reconstruction or DIET flap, and then you make your other side symmetrical to match them both, that is considered a bilateral surgery.
That was my surgery. And yeah, I had the full subsidy. So it was amazing. It was amazing. Replies that she's in South Auckland, so hopefully you guys can connect. Has anyone got any more questions? They were really fabulous questions. No more questions. Anything else to add, Trudi?
No, I haven't really. It just I'm here for anyone if anyone needs anything, and I'm always available via email. You know, if
you share your contact details with the ladies?
I can. Do you want them right now?
Yes, please.
Okay, so my email is Trudi, Trudi, at, it's a huge long one. I apologize for this. ABC Breast Care NZ Ltd.co.nz. And my mobile number is 021 3355 95. Always here for a chat if you need to know anything, or, you know, if I can help in any way, that's what I'm here for. You know, that was my mission when I started my business, you know, to be here for as many people as possible and make it as easy as possible. So, yeah, happy to talk or email, whatever. So,
okay, I've got 2 more questions. What is the best bra for lymphedema?
Okay, so there is, it depends how bad the lymphedema is. If you've just got a little bit of swelling and things, a massage bra is really good, which is slowly helps, you know, as I said, it's got the little dimples and things in. So that's a really good bra. And there's also, if your lymphedema is really bad, you can get something that's called a lympho fit, which is more a compression. It's actually, you know, for more severe cases of lymphedema. So, I mean, obviously you're getting massaged from your physio. I have a lot of physios come to me and I put ladies in that bra, and the physios are saying that, you know, they are noticing a difference in most of their patients. So, I mean, that's a great bra just to get started. But if you've got really bad lymphedema, you probably need a LymphoFit. So, which I can supply on order. I don't stock them, but I will order one in. So if you need anything.
That's really helpful. But one of their was asking, can you hold up the prosthesis with the ribbing as well?
Oh, yes. Okay, so you can just see the lines in here. They gently massage the chest wall. It's hard to sort of see, but you can, yeah. And it also keeps everything really, it keeps cool. You've got a bit of airflow through there. Some breast forms are flat on the back, just like that. So they there's no air movement between them. but this one is, you know, is quite cool. Although myself, when I've worn forms myself, I don't know about other ladies, but I'm completely numb. So it doesn't really matter to me whether I'm hot or anything. I don't feel anything. So, you know, I couldn't tell you if it was hot, cold, or indifferent. So, but yeah.
What is that breast form called?
This is called a massage form, super soft massage form. And as you can see, it's lovely and super soft. And it is very much like a breast, like breast tissue. Yeah, it's gorgeous. Yeah.
Awesome. So I've got a couple of thank yous. So she is that she's just had her second chemo. Go, you're amazing.
Oh, go. Yeah.
You can do it. And she's got 3 to 4 months to go. So she's really happy that she's had a heads up prior to what's needed. And is very grateful to you because she's been fitted by you, Trudi.
Oh, bless.
And that you organised her claim for both sides, SMX and reduction, and you were incredibly helpful. And I can
nice.
vouch for that, ladies. Yeah, I never knew about the subsidy until Trudi, and it was all taken care of, so it was amazing. And yes, you can contact Trudi for your subsidy. You know, you can contact her and ask her any questions about your subsidy and how to get those bras. What's the breast form? Good news. I flew domestically and had no trouble through security. Was super.
Yes, was worried about that, and I've been pulled up once when I was wearing a little partial one, this little number here, and I was pulled up, but I always try. I said try and choose a lane that's got a woman in it, you know, you're going through. So as soon as I went through, and of course it beeped and everything, I said, you know, I'm wearing a breast form. I've had breast cancer, and so she was kind of expecting, and you know, that was fine. So yeah, but I'm glad you didn't have to have any. You weren't stopped. Yay.
As if we hadn't been through enough, ladies. You have to worry about things like that. It's just, you know, you're all incredible, girls. You're all incredible. Just keep going.
We are, all of us.
We are.
Yeah.
And I think that's the last question. If I've missed anything, can I contact Trudi? Yes. All right, ladies, if no one's got any more questions, we'll close the chat. We're just so grateful for you joining us. You know, do make use of all that Look Good Feel Better has to offer, because there's some amazing classes that you can have or partake in, and it's an incredible community to have at our disposal for free when we're going through this hideous disease. So I think you're all rock stars. Thank you so much, Trudi. That was so informative. Yet again, I've learnt more. And I'm actually off to tell my friend who had a breast reduction that she's also able, because she was in pain, able to claim the subsidy. So I'll share your work far and wide.
Oh, thank you. You know, I've actually recommended other people too. You know, I came across a lady, and her daughter had a breast reduction as well, and she was having trouble with her shoulders, and she was only young. She was, you know, 16 or something, and you know, with, you know, quite large breasts. And I told her, and she received the full subsidy. So yeah, it's basically breast surgery. So you know, it will be covered. So you just have to ask for the form from your doctors. And this is another thing too, a lot of the medical nurses don't know, and that they are entitled as well. So, you know, any issues, let me know.
You're amazing, Trudi. Thank you so much. And ladies, thank you for sharing a little bit about yourselves in the group chat as well. Everyone's saying thanks so much to you, Trudi. So you're amazing.
Thank you. And thank you for all your work too, Emma. And thanks, ladies. It's been lovely seeing you all up there with your lovely smiley faces.
Thanks, ladies. And take care of yourselves.
Bye.